Hi, Frankie here. Today I'm going to show you how to remove a Sindy doll arm and replace it with another one. I've got this Masquerade doll, really nice one with a lovely hair, but she does have a very chewed hand, if you can see that. So she needs to really have a whole new arm. So I hope this video is going to be really useful to you. And if you like it, check out the description below the video. There's a link in there to my newsletter, which I'm about to launch for the first time. And it's going to have links to new how-to videos, new sewing patterns, new fashion designs, doll fashion designs. I'm going to have quizzes in it, and links to groups. I've got a Facebook group which is for identifying your doll's clothes, which people really enjoy joining in on, and it's really handy for people to find out those mystery items that they've got in their collection. So yeah, let's get to it. So the tools that you're going to need for this job are a hairdryer, some pliers, a couple of small screwdrivers, and the materials that you'll need are the original vintage bands that go into the top of the body. And if you can't get hold of those, that you can't buy these anymore, so you have to salvage them from old dolls. I don't sell them. If you can't get hold of one of those, you can use TPU bands. They're just like really cheap little hair bands that you can buy in the chemist or the pharmacy. Or you can use cord elastic, and you can tie a couple of knots in it. And you'll need a little piece of wire. And you'll need your doll bodies, probably with legs as well, but I've just got the torsos there for demonstration purposes. And your doll arms. I'm going to show you how to put in 4 different kinds of arms. And I'll go into that in more detail in the video. Okay, so I'm going to remove the arm from this doll and this doll and swap them round. So I'll be putting the arm inside as well. I'm going to use my hairdryer on a high heat, and I'm just going to blast the doll to warm her up. And what that will do is it will warm the plastic and soften it, so that makes it much easier to take out the arm. Still doesn't feel very warm, so I'm going to give it a bit more of a blast. Okay, so that feels a lot warmer now. And just be careful not to burn yourself, obviously. Right, now I'm going to start trying to prise the arm out, and that just came out really easily. There's a couple of different kinds of arms actually. There's that kind, which has almost like a cup shape on the end, and there's this type as well, which kind of has, it's almost got like a screw mechanism on the end compared to the other shape. And the other thing to notice about the arms is they can be different lengths. You can see that quite clearly on that pair. And then of course the earlier ones, those it's sort of easier to see that the earlier ones are a different size and shape. But with the 80s ones, they're not all the same either. These arms are from the basic Sindy, and you've also got the active Sindy arms. This is an old pair of rivet ones, and they're called rivets because they've got those little metal pins in them. Actually different again from the on the top. And these ones usually have wire in them. In fact, it's not wire, it's actually a plate of metal, but collectors usually describe them as wired, so you can bend them backwards and forwards and they'll hold their position. So what I normally do is, what I'm trying to get into the habit of doing, is sort them and label the bags, because otherwise every time you get them out of the cupboard or wherever you store them, you end up in a big muddle if you don't have them kind of bagged up. So here I've got my My bag's all labelled up with my good arms, my bad arms, my left arms, my right arms. And that helps me to stay organised. See if you can match them as well as you possibly can. So now that I'm ready to put the arm back in, put the new arm into the doll, I'm going to warm it up again. Okay, she's had her shoulder warmed up and she's ready for her arm. And I'm just going to gently push that in and twist and turn at the same time. And you can see that just went in so easily. Sometimes you have to be quite forceful. Go. Okay, now I'm going to take the arms out of this spare torso because it's damaged and dirty there. Now I think this has got the other kind of arm, and when you pull it, it does feel as if it's going to break or sort of tear, but they are quite strong. But what you're looking for when you twist these arms off is to get, you're looking for, you can see they've got this kind of screw shape, almost like you see on the top of a jam jar, and you're looking for that to sort of appear as you twist the joint. So I'm sort of lifting it and twisting it. I'm looking for that. There it is. It's just poked out. And once that's out, you can kind of get it out more easily. That's really gunky and yuck. Ooh. And the second one, equally gunky. Okay, I'm going to get a bag to put that yucky stuff in. Okay, it's all the dirty arms I've put in this bag, and I'll deal with those later. What I normally do is when I get dolls through the post delivered to me, or if I collect them from somewhere, I put them in the freezer for 24 hours at least, and that will kill off any unwelcome visitors that might have come along with the doll, such as, dare I say it, bed bugs or clothes moths, because I wouldn't want any of those in my house. So yeah, I blitz them in the freezer. Hi. So next I'm going to show you how to put the arm with the flat surface into the doll body. And I'm going to use this spare doll body for demonstration purposes. So again, start by heating up with the hairdryer. So I'm going to look for where the screw kind of pattern starts and push that into the hole, and then start twisting. And I'm just going to press as I twist. Using some force, but it's probably better to hold the body rather than press down into the table, because it might put a bit too much pressure on the body. So that's going in now. There we are. I would say slightly more difficult than the cap-shaped arm, but not too bad, not too tortuous. Just a quick note on how to remove the rivet arms. It really is very easy. You just push through, push the rivet out from the back. You can see it's got a slightly larger end, like a nail. So you go to the other end and push through from there, and it will pop out. And you can get a pair of pliers and pull out from the front if you want to. There we are. And finally, I'll show you how to put the arms into a ballet dancer Sindy, which is known as the active Sindy. Pedigree called them active Sindys. So you can tell you've got the right body if the neck is on a ball joint like that, and also the waist. And I just wanted to point out that the rivet arms actually go with a body that has a double cup waist. Can you see that? It's got these double ball joint kind of thing, which they dropped in the later dolls. And as I said earlier, there's two different kinds of active body arms. There's the earliest type, which have a pin, and the later type without a pin. So I'll show you the pin type first. It's quite easy really, because they've just got this rubber band. These are vintage and you can't buy them anymore, just to say, because everyone asks me where I get them. You have to salvage them from old dolls. I'll just show you with the original band today. Just thread the wire through the end of the band, rubber band or elastic, and then push that through the armholes and out the other side. Make sure you've got the arms around the right way. Now I've got to take the pin out. I think I'll leave it poking through just a little bit. Now I've got to put it under tension, and this is where it gets a bit tricky. Screwdriver through. Right, that can't escape now, so remove the wire. Going to untwist that because it's managed to get quite twisted. Slipping it over, it's really difficult. Oh, to be very persistent. And, I can't get I need to get the elastic to sort of drop below the pin, and it's kind of sitting just too high. So I'm gonna have to get another screwdriver, I think. Push it under the pin. There. Would have probably been handy if I'd had the my pliers on the desk, but I've pushed the pin through by pressing the arm down on the desk. So that was a bit painful, but I got there in the end. And the pin is just really held in place by tension, so you don't need to worry about that now too much. And while I was doing all that, the hand came off, so you need to make sure that you don't do what I did, and I put too much pressure on the hand, so make sure you just keep an eye on what's happening. But this actually just pops on there, because these are replacement hands that I bought, I think. Yeah, I bought those replacement hands from a lovely doll collector who lives in Greece. I've got another spare body here, and I'll show you how to put the other kind of active arms in, and these are much easier because they've got a little hook, and it's so much easier than trying to put the pin through. Just hook that onto the end of the loop. Use the piece of wire to pull it through. There we go. And then this is going to be a dream compared to doing the one with the pin. I just poke that in, and it's done. I just pull out the wire. This looks more complicated than it is because I'm just pulling out the wire, but yeah, there we go. That's how they fit together. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and that it helped you to get the arms into your Sindy dolls without too much trouble. And it was a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you for my next how-to video. Thanks.